I'll share my screen. Just give me a moment, guys. I'm trying to share my screen. So is my screen visible to all?
Yes, yes.
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 Okay, so first of all, a warm welcome on behalf of Phoenix Global on joining the Mission IM, the Mission CAT program. So there's 4 months left for the CAT exam. You'll be writing the CAT exam in just 4 months. Like I said in the photo in the first slide, you can see in the corporate jungle, cat is a new lion. Cat has always been thought of an animal which is, not that strong. But currently, given all the in the corporate jungle that we are operating on, it is definitely the new lion. So before starting with the session, are you all able to see this picture on the screen?
Yeah.
So what's written? विश्वास है अंदर कुछ खास है. So first, let me clarify. There is nothing. There's no gyan going to be in this session. Nothing khas in this session. This is things I'll be telling you things you already know. So if you have come here for all those podcasts, like 55 percentile में कैसे बंदे ने join कर दिया IIM? No, this is not going to happen. There is no cheat code for belling the cat. It is a very structured, a very professional method that we have to follow. There is no cheat code that we can follow to bell the cat. So before we start out the session, there are certain rules of the session. Do not judge me. That is rule number 1. अरे उस बंदे का तो एकदम हिंदी बहुत खराब है. अरे इंग्लिश भी ठीक से बोलने को नहीं आता है. Do not judge me. If you judge me, you'll be wasting your time. Next, do not try to copy me. I am not perfect. I am not any of your role models. Subhash might be. I am not. So do not try to copy me. And lastly, this is not a Gyan session. I am no Gyan Guru. All this is a compilation of all the expert sessions that I had attended of all the experts. So nothing new, all the things that you already know. So let's get started. So success, there are two kinds of success stories that we all know. Number one, this one, the overachievers. Overachievers have been like everywhere. We have seen overachievers everywhere and all our lives. They have stopped schools, they have gotten into IITs, NITs, and eventually they get into an IM. And you can't really stop them there. They grow higher and higher. They are typical overachievers. And there is another kind of people who also are successful. The second success story is of the average people. I consider myself as an average person. So I would believe that most of us belong to this category. So if we belong to the first category, there is no point of all these sessions. Only if we are part of this category, the average category, we have, let alone, topping school, we have not even topped our sections. So this is our category. So let us talk about this. We have never topped our sections. We have always been average in everything till a point of time in our life. And after that particular point, we have all eventually turned our lives around. But how? How do we do that? How do we turn our lives around from an average to a good, and finally become excellent. And we can, almost compete with the overachievers. This is the great, we call it the great turnaround. There is one moment in our lives from where, the entire turnaround happens. But how do we do that? There are, I have come up with three ways, which we can call it the three ingredients to turn around the life of any average student from an average person to an excellent person with an excellent professional career. Number one, the first is challenges. The first ingredient to this kind of a success story is challenge. Till a point till a point in our lives, we are not challenged. We do what society tells us to do. Society has always told us that okay, you need to get good marks in class 10. Okay, I got. By good marks, I mean an 80 percentage. I got 81. Society told me, okay, you need to get a little better in class 12. Okay, I got 82. So I have lived up to societal challenges, but does this lead me to anywhere? We did get success in these factors, but these will not change our lives. Your life will change when you actually challenge yourself. We have done all of these because somebody had told us to do. Now is the time we need to chase the impossible. We need to challenge ourselves and we need to accept challenges. There are two basic characteristics of a challenge. Number one, they have to be bold, they have to be audacious. And secondly, a challenge should look close to impossible. If the challenge that you are taking is not audacious, or it does not look impossible, it is not a challenge worth fighting for. So yes, take this challenge today that you are going to crack CAT. You are going to get admission into one of the top B schools of our country. So if you looking at the current state, you might feel that this is impossible. Well, that is the perfect challenge it is worth fighting for. So accept that challenge. And when you accept that challenge, make sure you accept it in style. The next ingredient is time management. When we talk about a professional, a exam, which is very analytical, very structured, like CAT, time management plays a very important role. And research also says that the major learning that we have, the major learning that we get happens after we have done our undergraduation. Before that, it is mostly, things that we had to do. We did not do by our choice. But after undergraduation, we start doing things that we want, start doing things that we actually want to do. So this is where the actual learning happens. And this is why it's not just important to, take the challenge, except, okay, I'll crack CAT. In 4 months' time, I'll crack CAT, I'll write the exam, I'll crack CAT and get into the best institute of the country. But I don't have the equipments, I don't have the learning to go and do that. So I need to equip myself. For a student like us right now, when we talk about equipment, it is a learning. Even like just take the example of a mountaineer. Somebody might be very interested, very passionate about mountaineering. He accepted the challenge. Okay, I'll, reach the top of Mount Everest. But that is not enough. That is definitely the first step. The major step requires that he needs to do courses on mountaineering. He needs to learn the tricks and of the trade. So this is the phase when you need to learn time management. Now, CAT is not a very difficult exam, and I'm considering that all of us here, we are, from like WorkX background. How many of you are from WorkX background here?
I just started working just as an intern right now.
Oh, that is great. So majority, as I can see, we are all from WorkX background, right?
Yeah.
So we cannot, like, we cannot give entire all our time into CAT preparation. So all I'm asking is give just 1.5 hours or 2 hours daily. Can we do that? Can we not? It's just 2 hours daily.
Yes, we
Two
can.
hours daily till CAT, which I'm assuming is in November. So 2 hours daily is nothing that I'm asking for. And schedule your time accordingly. So we know that there are three sections: the RC section, LRDI, and Quant section. This is the bare minimum that you need to do. If we take the example of RC section, devote 15 minutes every day without fail. Every day without fail. It is not that one day you give in 1 hour to RC and the next 5 days you do not do anything in RC. No, that will never happen. You have to make it a habit. You have to give in 15 minutes, half an hour every day. So if you give 15 minutes every day in RC, I'm assuming you'll be doing 1 or 2 passages. Given CAT is in November, which has 120 days, so 2 passages, the best possible scenario, you will be doing 240 passages. If you have done 240 RC sets, can you imagine the exposure that you have already got? Isn't it? So this is not much. Secondly, the LRDI section. Start with LR first or DI, whichever you are comfortable with. Start with that. Spend 15 to 30 minutes every day. I'm considering you will do 2 sets. 2 into 20, 120, 240 sets. If you have done 240 sets, I don't think you lack exposure. I don't think you lack practice. So first, like for example, first 15 days do LR. Then after a gap, again after 15 days, start DI. Do DI for 15 days. This is how you can, try to schedule your routine. And third is quants. Quants, try to give in. They see in quants, it is either you know maths or you don't know maths. There is no gray area in that. If you know maths in 1 hour, it will take, like, for 15 questions to be done, it will take you 20 minutes if you know maths. If you don't know maths, for 15 questions, it will take you an hour. But give that hour if it is taking. If you are doing 15 questions in 180 days, you will be doing close to 2000 sums. That is a lot. That is a lot of exposure that you are getting. Make sure you do all the chapters. Like, take 1 month for an example. For a typical QA syllabus that we have, there are 20 to 25 chapters, major chapters. So do one chapter every day, 15 questions from one chapter. Do this for the entire month. Then again start it from the first chapter. Your QA, your DILR, RC teachers, professors, they'll tell you more about these things, but this is the general, scheduling that you have to follow. Time management, making a routine for yourself, making a habit of sitting to study, that will become very important. It cannot be, haphazardly, one day you're sitting for 6 hours, the next day you're not sitting. No, make it a habit. No matter what you are doing, no matter where you are going, no matter which movie you're watching, make sure you're sitting for 1.5 hours or 2 hours daily. Make a timetable for yourself which is best suited for yourself. I'll also try to, come up with a timetable with, maybe after a few days I'll come up with a 3 months to CAT kind of a timetable, and I'll share it with Subhash. So meanwhile, you yourself come up with a timetable. When I say timetable, when you wake up in the morning, okay, I wake up in the morning and I do 15 minutes of first RC the first thing in the morning. Then in the evening, you make sure after coming back from office, or now you're not going out for office. So after you're done with your office work, you do an LRDI set. And again, before sleeping, you do an hour of quants. Whichever way is suitable for you, make sure you do that. Now, okay, so you got what you need to do, right? There is no confusion in what you need to do. Is there anything you need to remember while doing this? Yes. First thing is accuracy. CAT is an exam which is rated high in accuracy. If you have high accuracy, there is negative marking. So accuracy is one of the most important factors that you need to follow. Try to be accurate as much as possible when you're solving from a book or from any material that is being shared with you. If you're doing mistakes in more than 10% of the questions, focus on it. and focus on those topics more. Sit with those topics, go through the basics of that topic, and make sure that you cannot afford an accuracy which is less than 90%. Your accuracy has to be 90%, more than 90%, in fact. Second, concentration. It oftentimes there have, like, I have faced many questions where people are saying ki, I cannot answer the questions in the mock test, but once the mock test is done, I can answer all of these questions. Why? If you're not answering in the mock test, but you're answering afterwards, you know the answers, you know how to do, you know what to do. There's no problem in, you know, that you don't know or your basics are not there. The major problem is the environment. When you are giving mocks, or when you are, sitting under the influence of a timer, you panic and you end up not getting the right answers. So start making that habit from now, because ultimately you'll have to sit under the influence of a timer. That is an environment which is not comfortable to you. Make that environment for yourself from now onwards. Every day, whenever you are sitting, whenever you're solving your problems, doing RCs, make an environment that should, resemble the environment you face at a test center. How can you do that? Do not answer your phone. Do not respond to the doorbell. Don't get up for water or for music. Inform your parents, BF, GF, not to call you during your study hours. Keep different slots for different things in your life. This is one thing that you need to do for the next 4 months. It is not much I'm asking from you. You can do that. So this is very important. That is concentration. Make a pseudo environment, an environment which resembles the test center for you. Whenever you are solving your quant sums, set a timer. Okay, 15 questions, I'll do it in 30 minutes. Start with 1 hour, then I'll try to reduce it to 45 minutes, 30 minutes. Do it under the influence of a timer, because ultimately you will have to do it under the influence of a timer. So make a test center for yourself at home only. And lastly, for me, I think this is very important. Stay away from negative people. Simply stay away from anyone who is, negative about you or anybody. These are really, trust me, they are frustrated, unsuccessful souls who do not like others succeed as well, and will always rant on social media or any other platform. A person with a goal never pays heed to any of them. You have a goal in front of you right now. That is to crack CAT. You cannot get deviated from that goal. Stay away from negative people as long as you want, as much as you can. And it's just 4 months, you can do that. Another thing that is important is, if you see the graph over here, so it is a retention graph, learning retention graph. So this is another mistake that we do. We study a chapter, we study the basics, of, say, for example, we are doing time and distance in quants. We study the basics today, and we think that we have known everything. There is no need to do anything after that. But no, research says that you will forget everything. Almost half of everything you will forget after 2 weeks, and you will forget 90% of what you have studied after 2 months. So revision, practice, practice, practice. This means that you will not retain what you learn from a material unless you get multiple repetitions of the information over time. So plan a Saturday or a Sunday, maybe whichever day you are free. Saturdays and Sundays you do not have office. You can give a little more time than the 2 hours that I have told you. Give more time. And fix a time. Maybe first on Sundays you make a timetable where on Sundays you have 2 hours for revision. On those 2 hours, go through all the things that you have studied on this week or the past 2 weeks. These repetitions, these revisions are very important. It will ultimately help you, get a good hold of all the things that you have learned, because you are bound to forget everything. We have ourselves forgotten everything if we do not revise. So this is a researched fact that we forget 90% of what we have studied after 2 months. So on regard of this, you can do one more thing. Make a notebook for yourself where you write down all the formulas, maybe of all the chapters as you are studying. In short, for RC, maybe the tone of the passage, critical reasoning questions. Write all the important things that you think you might need to revise on later. And on those Sundays or on those Saturdays, you can just go through them. In this way, you'll go through multiple repetitions of that information and you'll never forget them. And finally, so now you know the first ingredient, which is you need to accept a challenge. You have already accepted that challenge, that you will bell the cat. You will get into one of the top B schools of the country. Next ingredient, you know that you have to properly manage your time, at least till cat. And lastly, what else do you know? So have you all heard about this dog or donkey story? Have you all heard about it? So never mind. So if you are given the option, who will you be, a dog or a donkey? Will you be a dog or will you be a donkey? Just random, hypothetically think that you have to assume something.
Of course.
Dog, okay. What about the rest?
A dog.
Dog.
Anybody else wants to become something? Dog or a donkey? So we know that dogs, they are quasi-intelligent animals, though they are intelligent, whereas the donkey, without any pedigree. So take an example. So a dog crosses a road, a car is coming in, the dog goes ahead, सामने जा रहा है, पीछे जा रहा है, सामने जा रहा है, पीछे जा रहा है. क्या हुआ? गाड़ी आके मार दिया. Whereas a donkey crossing the road, he will not move. The donkey will not move from where he or she or the donkey is standing. Donkey will stay at his place. The car will come, the car will stop. He will not get hit. Now, how can you relate this? So, for example, let's take Aditya and let's take Priya. So, both of them are friends. Priya is very, studious. She likes to study a lot. Whereas Aditya is not that interested in studying. Hypothetically, I'm just, let's do not take that in that way. So, uh, Aditya says, Priya, chalo movie chalte hai. Let's go for a movie. Priya is, no. I have my exams next week. I have to study. I am preparing for CAT. I have my mock exams. So I have to study. No, I can't. But Aditya went to the movie. Sitting at the movie theater, Aditya is like, oh shit, I came for the movie. Priya must be studying. Can he enjoy the movie? No. Similarly, Priya is in her house, studying for the exam. And she is thinking, oh shit, Aditya went for the movie. I could not go. I should have gone. What is the use of studying? So what happens? You're going front, going ahead and going backwards, going ahead and going backwards. And the car comes and hits you like that of a dog. So when you are preparing for the CAT, be a donkey instead of a dog. You have made your mind, you have determined your mind that you will study. When you are studying, study. Do not think about going out with your friends. Do not think that your friends are calling you up. You have to, go and watch a movie with them, play with them, do whatever you want. But no, if you are studying, studying. When you are playing, playing, play. Be a donkey till your CAT. It is good. Trust me. All of you, most of you are working here. Most of you have work ex here. So you might be thinking that whether to prepare for CAT or give all your and your 100% entirely into CAT, or work, give your 100%, give some maybe 10% to CAT or 90% to your working or whatever you are doing. But no, if you have made up your mind, prioritize your work, prioritize your cat before anything else. You have made that decision, now be that donkey. Go ahead with that. Stick to your cat. And once you have done all these things, believe yourself, believe in yourself. You can. Trust me, it is a game of motivation. 50% of all the people who are appearing for CAT, they will lose out of motivation. They'll lose out of confidence. They'll give up before writing the actual exam. And that is where you have to pick up your pace. Trust me, we have seen it. I have appeared for CAT myself, and I have seen many of my friends give up in between. It's June now. By September, you will see 50% of the people have given up. They are like, नहीं है CAT पैट इतना कुछ नहीं है, कुछ और कर लेंगे, business कर लेंगे. But you cannot give up. That is where you have to believe in yourself that you can. You have to decide that whether the rest of your lives you want to be, like stay an average person, or you want to make a memorable life for yourself. Always remember that, you know what, this preparation for the CAT, it should be such that you should be proud of it 10 years from now. Have you all noticed, like all the successful people, like right through school, just take an example of yourself only, right through school, when you were in junior school, middle school, high school, the end of the tunnel was very far away. You studied well in class 8, you topped in class 8. What do you get? Not much, right? But when you come to this phase, then you have 5 months, 4 months time to sitting for that exam. You clear this test, and suddenly you get catapulted to the best institutes of the country in one shot. Bang! The result is very fast. So this is the time. The entire mediocrity, of your career till now, it goes away in one shot after you clear the CAT. What better way to do it? Once you do this, you get into an IIM or any top B school for that matter. People will stop asking you कि भैया स्कूल में कितना आया था, बहन कॉलेज में मार्क्स आए थे, कॉलेज में आप पढ़ाई में कैसे थे. Nobody will ask you. People will stop asking you all that, and people will assume that you must have been a brilliant student all throughout. Don't you think? This is the biggest motivation that you can get, that the result that you will get out of this, no, it is very soon, like very far. All your life your parents have been telling you कि यार 10 तक पढ़ाई कर लो फिर तो लाइफ सेट, 12 तक कर लो लाइफ सेट, कॉलेज अंडर ग्रेजुएशन लाइफ सेट. No matter what you do, this is the last thing that you will be doing in terms of your career probably, and the result will be very fast. Always remember, it's not who you are underneath, it's what you do that defines you. So with that thought in your mind, keep doing what you are doing. Practice, practice, practice. There is no alternative to practice. All the best for your CAT. That is all from my side.
Thank you very much, Shubham, for a very interesting kind of a discussion that you brought up. Usually for these kind of sessions, the kind of formal methodology or the formal method that usually gets followed, you have broken those rules and you have come out of the box and you have given your vision and your thoughts to the students in the most acceptable manner. I am very much happy, and I am very sure that students must have had great learning experience from this. Now the house is open for questions. Shubham is here to take a few questions from the audience. And if anyone has a doubt, please unmute yourself and then you can ask the direct question directly to Shubham. Any doubts, or even you can feel free to share your remarks and feedback as well about how you felt about the entire program today, about the session. And it could either be a doubt, remark, or a comment.
Hi, Shubham.
Hi, Aditya.
Yeah, so first thing, I would say definitely after this session, my moral is boosted of whatever points you have said in such a simple manner. So thank you so much for that. And apart from that, my question to you is: now you have shown us a PPT, and I have literally jotted down some points like what Shubham has said, and these are the points that I'll be seeing every day. But since we're in our initials of preparation, we have just completed simple equations yesterday, and as the syllabus keeps on piling up, as you said, revision is important. It becomes more and more difficult, and there are three things we need to take care of simultaneously. So how is the possibility to remain calm in such a situation, and to have a track of how you are revising also? Because right now I'm doing some problems and I think, okay, I'm very very good, but I do know from within that after 2 months I'll be doing this and I'll not be that efficient, or maybe I'll be forgetting it also. So in your scenario, what did you do at your time?
So that's a like very common concern, Aditya. So what I would suggest, right now, since all of you have, I am assuming that all of you have started preparations right now. Okay. So what all of you can do is go back and attempt 2 or 3 past CAT papers. The IIMs have released all the CAT papers along with the answer keys. So without any preparation, go back and attempt those CAT papers, at least 3. And out of by attempting all those CAT papers, come up with your strengths and weaknesses. Identify, that is the first step, identifying which is your strong section and which is your weak section. So for a person who is strong in quants, who finds out that I could, so first of all, do not get motivated if you could not answer maximum of the questions. You would obviously not be able to, but you would at least be able to identify which are the questions you could at least attempt. So in that way, identify your strong sections and identify your weak section. Now the strong section is already your strength. Do not give up on that. Strengthen it more. But the weak section, if quants is your weak section, you need to go you need to start exactly from the basic. So start one chapter at a time, like I said, Aditya. Start one chapter at a time. As your professors would be teaching you the subject, start with it, and start solving those sums. But at the same time, do not get lose track of the sections that you are already strong at, and keep practicing them. If you're good in English, you do not need to know the basics of an RC or what is the tone of a passage. Not to go back and see that. Just practice them. And keeping calm again, like I said, do not think of the end result right now. First few months, just imagine there are 4 months to CAT. First 2 months, you will not see any result. It is a given that you will not be seeing any result the first 2 months. You will study all day, even if you give 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours to your studies, you will not see any results. But after a point, after 2 months, 2.5 months, you will start seeing those results. Once all the sub chapters have been completed, you will soon start seeing the results. So stay calm. Do not lose hope, and think that it's like, enjoy the journey. I have like seen a lot of interviews of people who have not who were not able to crack CAT in the first instance. Like even after getting 99 percentile, you're not sure if you will be getting a shot at the top IIMs. I have had friends who have gotten 99 percentiles and then they have not gotten a shot at the top IIMs. So how do you know what is going to be the end result? What you can do is stay calm and keep practicing. So practice, practice, practice. Once you practice, your confidence will automatically get boosted.
Thanks, Shubham. And one more thing I just wanted to ask, it's not related to CAT right now, but since I got campus placed into a company and it's basically an IT based company. So being an engineer and having an IT based job, first of all, we have so much of competition, and there are so many engineers writing CAT every year. And on top of it, I have to split my time and I have to work for so many hours, approximately 9 hours a day. And then again, a lot time to CAT. So I just wanted to know that since I'm just doing an internship right now, and maybe for 2 more months I'll be doing, then the effective work experience at the time, for example, if I clear CAT, I will be having around, including internship, I'll be having around 9 to 10 months of experience only. So taking this much of pain of dividing my time, working at the same time and doing CAT preparation, will it actually help me? Or should I just, leave my drop my job and then start preparing for CAT? So what do you recommend in such a case?
See, first of all, so now you're doing your internship.
Yeah.
When will you be joining full time?
Maybe once my internship is completed, so that will happen in like 1.5 or 2 months. That would take a minimum of 1.5 or 2 months.
Okay, so see, like one of the greatest positives, like fortunate or unfortunate, I don't know, but you were staying at home and working. I was like, while I was preparing for CAT, I was working as well. 2 hours of my day, 2 to 3 hours of my day used to go in traveling itself. Plus 9 hours was mandated. We had to stay for 10 hours in the office, plus 3 hours traveling. And after you have traveled, I don't know whether like you'll be in the proper state of your, you'll be so tired that it becomes very difficult to concentrate. But your case, you have that plus point. So
No,
utilize that.
actually, from next week, my working from office will start. So mine will also be very similar case to yours from next week.
Okay, so in that case, for now, I would not recommend you to drop your job. Okay, so start your preparation along with your job because you don't know how your preparation will go, right? You need to first see whether you're actually interested in it, whether you are getting a hang of it. So continue with your job, work a little hard, a little extra, sleep a little less, go out a little less. Honestly, like for the last 3 4 months, we had given up on everything. This is the price that we had to pay. We did not go out on weekends, like other days it's 2 hours that you need to study. On weekends you can give 6 to 7 hours. At least I had myself done that. So try, cutting down on all those things because the CAT preparation is a full-time job in itself. You cannot do it half-heartedly. And there is no point, like if you do not get into the best B schools in the country, it's very the situation given that COVID is in place and everything, you should at least aim to get in a good B school. So right now, I would suggest don't give up on your job. Start your preparation along with your job itself. But when the actual when it comes for the actual writing the test in November, see if you can get a month leave or at least 3 weeks leave. Right at that time, you would want to concentrate more. If not study for 10 hours, at least you want to calm your mind. Because one of the biggest problems with cats, like every time you write a cat, you will get demotivated. I had gotten 70 percentile in my in the mock that I had given the night previous to my cat exam. So you can imagine the level of demotivation. The next day you're appearing for an exam, and the previous night in a mock you get 70 percentile. So this is how you have to get used to this kind of demotivation, but not get bogged down. It should serve as an encouragement. So study for at least 2 hours every day, and before CAT, try to take a month's leave maybe from office, if that is possible. If not, maybe give sick leave or something. Do that. Many of my friends have done that, a sick leave, a letter from a doctor and all. They have at least taken 2 3 weeks of, leave. That is important.
Sure, Shubham. Thanks.
So if anybody of you have any other questions, you can definitely get in touch with me. You can also tell Subhash to, make you connect with me. You can also drop me an email. So Subhash, that is it, I guess.
Yeah. Anyone
Anything
else?
else?
Any other question, guys? Okay. So any other further questions at any point of time, if you have, you can reach out to Shubham on the email ID that is displayed on the screen. Otherwise, you can get in touch with either me or Ashwik, who will provide you the required email IDs and contact numbers. and you can get in touch with Shubham and then get your doubts clarified. Thank you very much all for joining, and thank you very much, Shubham, for your time and efforts and your insightful discussion. We are very much sure that the students definitely had some learning takeaway from this discussion today. Thank you all for joining. Have a good day. Thank you and bye.
All the best, guys.
Thank you.
You will rock.